chatting by the fireside. All right, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Steven here, FlexArm, FlexCNC. So this is a brand new series for us. We're starting day one, and we're going to call this guy Fireside Chats. So our first guest on Fireside Chats is my good friend, Adam Booth, or a.k.a. Abom79 on all the social media platforms. So what's up, Adam?
Doing good, man.
Welcome to Fireside Chats with FlexArm.
Thanks for having me up here, man.
Yeah.
This place is great.
Yeah, right on. So Adam's coming up today to basically pick up his new FlexArm unit. He's purchasing a GHM 60 2-inch tap capacity on there to really take care of some of these A-bomb sized jobs that he gets. And the end goal with this is to really retire that tap handle, man. I want to see that thing hanging above your fireplace.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that. You want me to put those big tap wrenches up on the wall and do away with them now, right?
Yeah, that's the goal, man. That's we're going to sign a piece of paper that states that you're putting these things up and we're going to contract it. So. Well,
that's okay, because it generally takes two guys to turn those big tap wrenches anyway.
Well,
so.
Like I said last night, man, watching someone else turn a tap wrench is awesome until you actually have to do it. When you have to do it, it's not that much fun anymore.
So you like watching me do it?
Oh, I love watching you do it. I ain't going out there. I'm out. So I guess really getting into it, like, what's the story of Abom, man? Where'd you start? Where'd you come from? Where are you from? Give me the background.
The story of Abom. I mean, you want to hear about the the story of coming up through the shop.
I want to hear about Abom at 7 years old that got inspired to want to change people's lives and want to better your own life.
Well, my dad offered me a job working for him when I was 17. Now, of course, going back before that, all throughout my childhood, he would always bring me into the shop in the summer times, when we'd be out for school, to help him clean the shop and go to the scrap yard and things like that. So I grew up in the shop my whole life, being around it and always being there helping him. And I never really had a huge interest to where I was, saying, I'm gonna be a machinist one day.
Right.
I was a kid, so, but I had a lot of good memories being in the shop and playing and exploring and picking myself up with the chain fall,
Right.
hooking a basket and picking myself up, but helping him clean machines and dig through all of the metal and things like that. But as I got older and going through high school, trying to decide what I wanted to do once I graduated, we were talking about, was I going to go to college? What was I going to do after that? I wasn't sure quite what I wanted to do yet. And I really didn't want to go to college. Schooling just wasn't really my thing. It really wasn't my jam. I just wanted to work. I wanted to go to work. So Dad really wanted me to go to work for him, and he kept pushing me. He goes, well, I really need your help. I'd really like for you to come and work for me and give it a shot and let me teach you how to be a machinist. So that's what I did, So when I was 17, I was a senior in high school. I started working for him before I even graduated high school. I was in one of those work programs where I got out of school early, and so I would leave and go work for him about a half a day. And he started teaching me the trade, and it didn't take long. I fell in love with the trade of the machinist, mm-hmm. and fall in love with the tools and just everything about the shop. It really started. I just loved everything about it, and I stuck with it. And I just seemed to have a knack for it. The old school stuff. He taught me how to grind high-speed tool bits, how to grind carbide tool bits, how to grind drill bits, how to set your feeds and speeds on the machine, how to use drill bits properly, how to use a milling machine, how to use a lathe, how to indicate a 4-jaw chuck, and then running into simple problems like whenever you're turning a shaft, when you start getting chatter, like what do you do? Mm-hmm. How do you fix that? He's like showing me all these things because of all the years experience that he had. And I just kind of took it and ran with it, and I love it.
That's awesome, man. So your dad owned this shop, right?
My dad owned it, but my granddad actually started the shop. Okay. He built the shop in 1972, and he built it and started it for my dad. So my granddad started it, and he was working for NARF at NAS Pensacola at the time. And so he invested in the shop for my dad, started the business, and then sold it to my dad. And then my dad took it over, and but my dad ran it since 1972.
So what was the first machine that you ran by yourself? What was that? What was the A-bomb, or I guess this was before A-bomb. What was the Adam Booth machine? What was your favorite machine out there?
My favorite machine has always been the lathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always loved the lathe. I like the big lathes too.
Yeah.
I like doing the big heavy work and taking the big heavy cuts.
You want those big swings.
Yep, I love it. And I'm gonna have another one day too.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's good. So really childhood came from, was grandfather a machinist too?
He was.
Okay. So, I mean, you come from a long line of machinists, man.
Third generation. Yep. My granddad, he worked for 20-something years at a machine shop in Pensacola called Peaks Machine Shop, and then he left there and he got a job working for NARF out at the base, and then he retired from them in 1984. So he's got he had a lot of years doing machining, and then he taught my dad how to be a machinist, and then my dad taught me how to be a machinist.
So do you have any of those old machines that you grew up working with currently? Oh,
yes,
you do?
I do? Yes.
So what do you have still that you grew up with?
I have the Monarch lathe.
Yeah.
It's a 16-inch Monarch lathe that my granddad bought for the shop, and my granddad ran it, my dad ran it, and then I run it now.
That's awesome, man.
I've also got the Victor lathe. It's a 16-inch lathe, so they're both the same size machines. I have the Dual mill, which is a Bridgeport clone, and my dad bought that brand new from Dual in 1987, I believe. And I've also got my dad's Miller welding machine. It's a 330 ABP. He bought that brand new from Airgas. And it's an awesome machine. It's a tank. You just can't kill it.
You can't find them anymore either.
No, I mean you can't kill those machines.
No.
So and there's a lot of technology and welding machines have come a long way, just like machining has. But those machines, you just can't kill them. So I'm never going to get rid of it. It's always going to be there. You can run that machine. It's got a 100% duty cycle. So if I wanted to stick weld with that thing all day long, you won't kill it. You just run it all day.
Just knock it out all day.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
And I've got countless hours running stick electrodes with that machine growing up in my shop. Because once I started working for Dad, he quickly taught me how to weld. That's the first welding process I learned, was how to run a rod.
That's a job he wanted to get away from.
My dad, he was done with it. He was like, I've been doing this my whole life, now you're gonna do it. So he showed me how to strike an arc and how to run a weld bead, and as soon as I figured it out, he never did it again after that. It was my job.
That's awesome. But the thing about it is, the cool part about it is you enjoy it. Like, you enjoyed doing it. I was kind of the same way as a kid. My grandfather was a welder, retired from the tank plant in Lima, Ohio, and that was one of the first things that he taught me. That was one of the first things he taught my dad, was how to run a bead.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of MIG welding and stick welding at first, and he was the same way. He did it every day, 9 to 5. And if something happened at the house, or we're big Mopar guys just like you are, which that's another reason why we connect the way that we do. So being a Mopar guy, if you want to do it right, you got to. If you want it properly done, you got to do it the right way. And my family's big into bracket racing, and I grew up at a drag strip, my whole life, and
it's always fun
from tubbing a car to channeling a car to whatever it is, you've got to have the right tools, and man, you've really got to have the experience to do it. I ruined a lot of pieces of metal, man.
It takes a lot of practice.
I ruined a lot of metal, but it's fun, and it's a passion that I don't think you can't learn it. The passion for it, you just got to have it.
That's right.
And it's something that obviously you have, which is awesome. So kind of transitioning out of that, the A-bomb thing, man. How'd the name Abom79? How'd that start?
Well, the A-bomb name, my good friend Joe back in Pensacola nicknamed me A-bomb a while back, way back in our younger and more party days, when we used to like to go downtown on Friday nights and drink a little bit. It was back in those days, and Joe, he loved to give everybody a nickname, And so one of those evenings, he just blasted out A-bomb. And he goes, "That's it. That's your nickname." And it stuck ever since. So once he called me that, he was always calling me A-bomb. It just stuck as a nickname. And then I wanted to use that once I got online and use that as an online, a call name.
Right.
And A-bomb was already taken when I wanted to use that, so I had to throw something else in there with that. So I used my birth year of 1979 on the end of it, and that's how the Abom79 came about. And I've used that. So I use that for my YouTube channel name. And I think it's kind of funny because when I first started the channel, I wasn't sure how Abom79 would actually sound as a YouTube channel, and I almost changed it to just Adam Booth.
Really?
Yeah, I almost changed it to Adam Booth, and then I didn't because I already started and already started putting videos up, so I thought it might hurt the channel, but I'm glad that I didn't because it's become a name that all my viewers recognize.
Dude, you're A-bomb.
Yeah,
Like we had the conversation around here, and it was funny because I'm talking to some of our engineers and some of our machinists, and I'm like, hey, Adam Booth's going to come in next week, and he's going to pick up his FlexArm, and they're like, who? And I said, Abom79, and all of them perk up. And I'm like, you guys don't know Adam Booth. Sorry, I know Adam, but
they just know me as Abom.
They just know you as Abom79, man. Yeah. It's straight Abom79. So even before the YouTube thing, I mean, your big transition getting your information out there came from like Practical Machinist Forum?
That's right.
Or, yeah?
Yeah, I had a big online presence, mainly on Practical Machinist. I was on a few of the machining forums, and I was getting on there, and it started with taking pictures. Working in the shop and where I was at previously, I was taking pictures every day of the work that I was doing, working on hydraulics and working on those large shafts and everyday job shop repairs. I was taking photos of those things, and then in the evening time, I'd get on, say like Practical Machinist, and I would share pictures of those jobs, and people seem to really take a liking to me sharing that information in those pictures. So I did that for a pretty good while, and it was a couple of years because I believe I started doing that actively in like 2011, and then so 2013 comes around, and that was a time period where we had already downsized my dad's original shop, and then we built up my shop. We moved the remaining machines there, and I wanted to try using a video camera a go. So I bought a GoPro camera and wanted to try taking some video, and instead of just the pictures, I wanted to try using a video, and I was like, well, there's that YouTube thing out there, so let me try using this YouTube. So I did. I took a couple of videos and threw them up on there because I thought it'd be cool to try to get some video. I knew that some of the things of what I was doing was very cool and interesting. I mean, I love what I do. Some people that do it don't really care. It's just a job, but I thought it was really interesting what I did. So I thought it'd be cool to try to capture some of that on video and share it. So that's what my plan was, to try to capture it, make it into a video, upload it on YouTube. And I didn't realize that it was going to turn into what it was turning into.
Well, I think you've inspired a lot of people to either learn the trade or better craft themselves at the trade, or everybody can learn something new every day. And you may do something a little bit different than I do and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty cool to see that you took the initiative to jump on this YouTube thing, because at that time, man, YouTube wasn't what YouTube is today. So everybody that thinks Abom was an overnight success, or anybody was an overnight success, it's really an 8, 9, 10 year transition or lead up to being an overnight success.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
You can't just jump into it. I mean, look at all the work that I had to put into just to, better my career at being a machinist, to be able to share that knowledge with other people, and I'm still learning every day.
That's awesome, man. So who do you follow on YouTube? Who are your guys that you follow?
Well, we've got a nice big community of guys out there that we're all buddies and friends, and I think we all kind of follow each other. But I've got guys like Tom Lipton that I like to follow, This Old Tony that I like to follow, Keith Rucker, I enjoy his videos, and just being put on the spot, I'm kind of coming to a blank of all my buddies that I like to watch. But
Saunders, NYC.
John Saunders, NYC CNC. You know, I've been buddies with him for a long time, ever since the YouTube thing started, and he's been very inspirational, especially with the business aspect of it as well. You know, I've learned a lot from him.
So John brought you and I together.
He did.
For everybody out there, John really brought you and I together. I had followed you for a while, but I didn't really know Adam Booth. You know, like our machinist, I knew A.Bomb79, and I knew the videos and the sirens in the background, or the mower, or the weed whacker. You know, it's kind of your staple at this point. So I didn't really know Adam Booth, and thank you, John Saunders, for that introduction and bringing us together. So you get two like-minded people in the same place, or kind of like your YouTube group, man. It's a whole group of like-minded people that you guys have the same initiative and the same goal, and it's really to show what you're doing, why you're doing it, the mistakes that you made. You're transparent about it, which is cool. Those are some of my favorite videos to watch of you and all those other guys is some of the mistakes.
Yeah.
And you know, John does a really good blooper video where he crashes some machines periodically.
It happens to all of us. And a lot of those videos where I show the mistake, you know, of course I hate it whenever it happens. Right. It makes me, you know, feel really dumb whenever things happen like that. But I know that the viewers actually enjoy seeing those mistakes, and a lot of them say it just shows your human side. But of course, you know, being where we can edit that, it's really easy to edit that out. But I think the viewers appreciate it more when you show that you do make a mistake and then how you overcome that.
Well, being transparent, you know, is a big thing, especially with this online presence that you have and these followers that you have. They want to see you screw up every now and again. And I know you probably got more guys out there that want to see you screw up than most people do, but we all got it, and it's fun. So how quick did your channel grow? Like when you started, and was it 2011, 2012 on YouTube?
The channel started in 2013.
13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all kind of hazy when I think back on it, because I didn't really keep track of how fast it grew. I really didn't, but I think that for a YouTube channel in today's time, it actually grew pretty fast. I mean, I was gaining, you know, a lot of subscribers pretty quickly. So I mean, I probably had 1,000 subscribers in a month or two, and it continued to grow like that organically. You know, so it's been going on for a little over 6 years now, and I just reached, you know, about 306,000 subscribers. But it continued to grow pretty quickly. And I remember whenever I first started, before I started putting YouTube videos up, I knew of Keith Finner. He's another friend of mine. I like watching his videos too. Learn a lot from him. We're going to keep throwing friends out there as Adam thinks about them, so just stay tuned. Watch it all the way through, I promise. I like everybody. I watch everybody. They're going to keep popping into his mind periodically. Keith Finner was one of the guys that was very popular, him and Mr. Pete. Yeah. Okay, they were two of the machinists that were very popular on YouTube back in 13. And I think Keith Finner had around 20 to 25,000 subs at the time when I started doing my channel. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that is a lot of subscribers. There's no way I'll ever have that kind of subscribership, you know? And then here we are at 300,000. That's awesome. It's just amazing. No, that's awesome. It's, you know, we were talking about it internally with the marketing team, and one of the things that we came up with that I admire more than anything about you is how organic everything is. You know, it's not gimmicky. It's not this crazy wicked Photoshop and editing software that you have. Your first videos were so pretty rough, primitive, that they were rough. But it's awesome because it was you. It was you. And I mean, even to today, from 13 till today, 6 years, it's still you. It's still A.Bomb79, you know. It is. Dude does his work, and he knocks it out. And I haven't changed much other than just trying to streamline the video a little bit. To, you know, I try to sound a little bit more professional in video than when I first started, and I try to cut out a little bit of the wasted time in between the videos when I can. But I still always try to bring not only a educational video, but an entertaining video to my channel as well. You know, I don't like making a 5 and 10 minute video. I feel that my viewers are there for some entertainment value as well. When they tune in, it's like watching their favorite TV show. You know, you want to watch your show, and it's usually 30 minutes to an hour. So I like making that 30-minute video because, you know, these guys are going to sit down on the couch, you know, and they're ready to relax and, you know, and give them a little bit of entertainment for a while and get something out of that. So that's one of the reasons why I like putting out that 30-minute video. I
watch it beginning to end, and typically it's when my wife's watching House Hunters or HGTV or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and you know, I got my boys sitting with me, my sons, and we're watching a lot of your videos, and periodically my daughter rolls in and she'll ask a question. It's cool to see the interest, you know, with my children now, because they have it and they want to know, what is that machine, what is he doing? Because I bring work home with me so much that they understand what a FlexArm is and why a FlexArm is there, and who the customer base is for FlexArm. So it's neat to see. And I told my oldest boy last night, we had a conversation about you, and he's like, "Oh man, can you get him to autograph something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." So I got to take that home. Just so you know,
I think we can make that happen.
Yeah, he'll be pissed if I don't take that home. So, but getting back into like the YouTube thing, I know you got a lot of really unique people that watch you. Obviously, I've got a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and they watch Abom. Like, what is the most unique person that you've talked to, or what's the best inspirational story that you've gotten out of?
I've heard many, but I tell you what really, it's hard to pick. Can I tell you a couple?
Yeah. So you can tell me 5.
I get people that email me that have nothing to do with the machining trade. Yeah, we have. There's
our lawnmower. We don't have a lawnmower, but you know, we got Abby's phone ringing.
That's okay.
Thanks, Abby Booth.
we get people, let's just say in the IT world that have never been around the machining world, that email me and say that they know nothing about machine shop work, machining, that they love coming home and watching my videos. You know, so we have guys like that email me. We also have entire families that have family night watching my videos.
That's awesome.
Now, how cool is that? I mean, I get an email from somebody that say, Grandma and Grandpa come over, and all the kids, they all get together on Saturday night, they have dinner, and then they sit down and watch the
Abom videos.
They watch the Saturday night special videos. They make a Saturday night of it. You
know? That's so sweet.
How cool is that? But one of the most inspirational people that we have met, and I hate that I cannot remember her name, but she came to my Louisville, Kentucky meet and greet, and she was a little bit older, and she had brain cancer. And whenever she actually came to the meet and greet, she had the head bandage on because she had to have surgery, and she actually found inspiration by watching my videos that actually helped her. And she decided she wanted to work on machines. So she bought herself a Bridgeport milling machine and wanted to rebuild it. And she learned all that by watching my videos and other machinist YouTube videos. And she's doing all that work by herself. And I thought that was so cool.
That is awesome.
You know, and she just said so many things that were just so touching. But watching the videos just helped her in so many ways to keep her going, you know, because she had so many, you know, problems there that she was dealing with. You know, see her come to the meet and greet, you know, and have the bandage on her head. You know, I thought that was just way cool.
That's awesome, man.
That, you know, so that was one right there. You know, you're talking about inspirational.
That strums the heartstrings, man. It's just, it's cool to see that you're inspiring people to, you know, that lady used that as something therapeutic to take her mind off of the issue that she had going on in front of her at the time.
That was exactly it right there.
And really go out there and learn a new craft or learn something new. And that's I don't know, it's super cool to me, man. So thanks for sharing that one. Yep. So transitioning back around, we do that a lot here. We transition left and right all over the place, but What is, so A-Bomb's now on his own. A-Bomb's doing his own thing. So what's the hardest job that you've came across thus far since you've been on your own? Like the most difficult, and how did you get through it? What tools did you use? Maybe you didn't have the tool and you had to improvise.
Well, I can't really say that there's been a difficult job to that level yet since being on my own. I think the most difficult part of being on my own so far is just managing the business.
Yeah.
Seriously, is figuring out and managing the business and figuring out which directions I'm wanting to take this. And I'm still working on that right now because it's all still new.
What is the goal? I mean, what's A-Bomb's 5-year? Where are we going to take this? We building a new shop? We building 5, 10 years? What are we doing?
That's one of the goals, yes.
Yeah.
Really what my goal was whenever I went out on my own is that I wanted to pursue full-time content creation with my YouTube channel. And 5 years ago, that wasn't a goal. I didn't see that being a job. But the growth of my channel and having the freedom to do the work in my shop and create film and create videos, seeing that come to life really inspired me to try to push towards moving towards that. So I decided to make that jump, and that's what I want to do. I want to do full-time content creation and continue the job shop work as well. So I want to continue building up the work in my shop, which is going to help create content there. I like doing job shop work. I like doing manual machining, but we're going to continue to move forward and add new things into the business and add new things to the channel, the content.
Look at some employees eventually, maybe.
It's possible. I won't say anything's out of the question.
Yeah, maybe get a guy or gal in there, run a machine or two.
It might be possible.
That'd be awesome.
We might have one right here.
That'd be awesome.
Abby.
Abby, you're not going to run a machine?
Yeah.
She's just going to sit in the back and let her phone ring at the most inopportune times is what Abby's going to do.
We might have to employ her to help run it though.
That's all right. I think she'd do a halfway decent marketing. Just call me crazy, but coming from the conversation that Jordan had with me last night,
yeah.
Jordan's our marketing director, and he said, man, I want to hire her. So
she's got the smarts.
You guys might be moving up to Ohio before you know it. What, you won't get away from those Florida winters? Because I'll tell you what, winter up in Ohio is a little bit different. You know that. So this is officially, you said it last night, which I found kind of funny. This is officially the farthest north that you've ever been in your life.
It is.
Correct?
It is.
In Wapakoneta, Ohio.
It is.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. The last trip up here was whenever we visited Gerstner, which is in Dayton, which really isn't too far down the road.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Yeah. So this is officially the farthest north I've ever been.
High five. Welcome to the north, dog.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, man. I guess ending it up and kind of closing everything out, the number one question that I have, and then we're going to get to the final thoughts. The number one question that I have, and I'm going to say this again, are you going to retire those tap wrenches?
Am I going to retire them? The large tap wrenches, those big ones, are probably going to be wall hangers.
Yes. We did it.
But we've got to give the viewers a demo though, just to show it, because I don't think anybody on YouTube's ever shown that.
Oh, it's a fact.
So we got to give a demo, but those are wall arts.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we get that FlexArm into your facility, you go ahead and you take that big tap wrench that you have and you throw a 2-inch tap in there, and I'm going to take your FlexArm and we're going to see who taps the hole faster.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Well, we're stepping up, man. We're moving up in technology here.
That's a fact, man.
That FlexArm is replacing that big old number 24 tap wrench.
That thing's a monster, dude.
It took a couple mules on both sides to turn that thing. Now we're using hydraulic power.
Oh yeah, we're using hydraulic power, and you're literally going to push a button.
Yeah.
So it ought to be pretty smooth. So finishing everything up, what words of wisdom do you have coming from Abom79 to all these guys out there watching, these gals out there watching, asking, I want to get on YouTube. I want to be a machinist. I want to do this. I want to do that. What do you got?
Well, I think that if you want to do YouTube, there's a lot of people that want to do YouTube. You definitely need to be comfortable and be yourself. Don't get on YouTube and try to act. Don't change your personality and try to script it. You want to be yourself. And I think that I'd show that when I do my videos. You know, turn the camera on and talk just like you would whenever you're talking to your friends. All right, don't act it out. Just be normal.
Right.
Talking to the camera. Just be natural at it. That's one piece of advice that I can give. And make good content. Make stuff that people are going to want to see. You know, show some interesting things. And I don't know. I just turn the camera on and show what I do.
You just do you, man,
Yeah.
and that's cool. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll go ahead and end it there. So what are we calling this again? Fireside Chats. All right. So that's it for the first episode of Fireside Chats with my buddy Adam Booth, Abom79, and this beautiful fireplace behind us. So thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us up, man.
We'll get that FlexArm loaded up. So
All right.
let's head out.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks. See you guys.
See ya.